Good morning everyone, Terensu here. I hope you're not too tired from staying up late last night watching the reveal, if you could call it that. I'm sure you all heard by now about Tekken 7's final Season 4 character, who is a fictionalized version of the President of Poland. Now I gotta be honest, I'm sure the character itself is fine, but the way she was revealed was the most unhyped thing ever. During the second annual Fighting Game Roundtable, which was already plagued with audio issues and technical problems, as well as even Among Us ASCII spam at one point in the chat, Harada presented what was essentially a trailer for a trailer. Now, the trailer itself is now up on Bandai Namco's official YouTube page, and you can check it there. But the whole thing is like maybe 35 seconds, and 15 seconds of it is just the Namco and Unreal Engine logos. As for the relevant part of the clip itself, we see the lower part of a woman getting out of a car, and she's called the Prime Minister before saying she's not afraid to fight for her people, that being the people of Poland. That's it. That's the trailer. Now, Harada said a full trailer, not the character, just a full trailer, would come out next month at the end of the online tournament. Now, at the risk of sounding entitled, I feel like this trailer of a trailer kind of fell flat. Namco and Tekken, they were the first to present their content at the roundtable, and it was almost like they were just trying to get theirs out of the way. The Kunimitsu teaser from last year's roundtable worked because she was a returning character, and everybody knew what that still image meant. But this character we have no connection to, and she looked extremely generic. I honestly thought it was Nina Williams at first because it was literally just the bottom half of a lady in like a business suit getting out of a car. That was it. The trailers, somebody on Reddit pointed out that the logos and like the Bandai Namco logos and those things took up more time in the teaser than what they actually showed of the new character. It was also full of a lot of real life and stock footage of Poland, more so than the character, which makes me think they really got behind the 8 ball with this character, and they are just, totally not ready, but they felt like they had to throw something together to be able to present at the roundtable. Harada and Murray did clarify that this new character would launch in early spring, which we all remember, when they said Tekken 7 would launch on console early in the year. So this thing's probably coming out the very last day before the halfway point to summer, if not, early summer. Hopefully they'll stick to the early spring like they said, but I really think they're behind on this character, just judging by how little content they had to show last night. I also hate that as gamers and fighting game people, we've gotten so thirsty and we clamor so much for DLC content that Namco essentially had nothing, but they felt the need to release a trailer of a trailer. Now I know why they did it, because if they had pulled a Nintendo Direct and had Harada get up there and be like, hey, we're working on that last character, but we don't have anything to show you today, people would have rioted. And that would have been fair if they didn't have anything, which they essentially didn't. And I've seen a lot of divisive reaction online to this trailer because there's nothing there. There's no substance. And this is not a prior character in the series, so we have no connection to this character. So the trailer kind of fell flat, in my opinion. It's very empty. Most of the fighting game developers roundtable last night was bad, technical-wise. Like the setup just did not work. Like they had all of the Japanese directors speaking, and then Murray was at the bottom with another gentleman, I can't remember his name, and they were supposed to be essentially listening to it and then repeating it back paraphrased in English. I feel like you miss a lot that way. I know that they're not really ready to pull the trigger and go for like full-on live translation because it's very difficult and probably expensive to do. But I don't know. I don't know if the current format worked. And there were lots of technical glitches and bugs. For the first like maybe 10-15 minutes, you couldn't even hear the translators because their mic was turned off. So if you were a Western viewer, you just had nothing. And at one point there was this really loud screech in the audio, which probably hurt a lot of people using headphones. It was really strange. I would have expected a lot better quality from all the big, hard-hitting Japanese fighting game developers that were at this thing. But sadly, it seemed like kind of a disjointed mess, at least technical-wise. And what Namco had to show really was not that impressive. Was not that impressed by it. And there's just no hype to be had for something like this. You can't really get hyped over a teaser of a character you do not know. If it had been Roger Jr., they could have shown some boxing gloves laying on a beach, and everybody would be hyped that it was Roger Jr. But now, because it's just some generic-looking lady getting out of a car, maybe she'll be cool, maybe she won't. Maybe she won't be busted like Leroy and Fakaram and all the other Tekken 7 original DLC characters were on launch, but I doubt it. She looked a lot like Colin from Street Fighter V, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about the Polish Prime Minister DLC. Hopefully we'll get more information at the tournament next week, and I'm sure it'll be fine once we see the actual trailer. But I just hope that we can learn to be a little bit more patient as a community and not be so thirsty for content that they feel like they have to put this empty trailer together to show us when they really have nothing. They had very, very little to go on last night. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.